this concussion sets in from the nutrition training. So guys, welcome to TGIM tonight. I'm Jared. I'm running you through on why, the subtopic, I guess, was why are we not achieving our goals that we want to? Like, we want to do things, but why can't we tick those things off, I guess? It's a question that should be looked at, because if you're not achieving what you want to in any area of your life, it's worth a review, because especially if your goals are worthwhile to you, which they should be. If they're not, you need new ones, okay? So, but for me and for you guys who know me, you probably had to guess the answer to this, but if you're not achieving what you want out of your life, you've always got to turn to the guy in the mirror and have that discussion. If you're operating on like a victim mentality or a victim mindset where it's always someone else's fault, if you're always pointing the finger with anything, if you're giving any area of your life, if you're giving other people the power, it actually takes away your control to change it from a mental perspective. So, let's not be doing that as a unit, as a team, as a collective, because or anyone who's listening to this call, because you have the power to change your life. You've just got to apply and learn the skills to be able to do that. Okay, so for me, it's always you. Like, if you're not achieving something, like I'm saying, it's always you. And your mind is the most powerful, like your brain, like your between your ears, is the most powerful thing that you have on this planet. So, and we see all these guys, right? And they, like Tom, for example, he gets in the gym, lifts his little boy weights, and throws the iron around. But not Tom, that was a silly example. But you see these guys, right? And they're in the gym, they're jacked up, they're looking amazing. So they're really ticking some physical goals. So obviously not Tom. But their bank accounts are dry. And then you speak to them and they can barely form a sentence. And you wonder, like, they can dedicate so much focus and energy and passion into that side of their life, but can't kind of work on their brain. And it's always made me wonder. And ever since obviously we use Herbalife examples because that's been a major part of my life over the last 6 years, especially when I started to develop some success as well, which is important to a training like this. But my life was literally going nowhere until I started to train my mind, like I trained my body. Well, I wasn't training my body there or my mind. I was training nothing, and the results were showing, right? And it's not like it's kind of like when we're doing fit clubs and we're working on our physical results, your brain's exactly the same. If you don't have constant stimulation and you're constantly challenging ideas and constantly thinking outside the square, constantly listening to new information, constantly putting new stuff in, how's your brain meant to develop? Like, how's your mindset meant to grow? How are you meant to become more focused and fill these areas that you might be lacking that are preventing you from success? So, so it's something we really have to be aware of it, and we're going to talk a little bit about how to make a plan for that as well. But I want you guys to write down. I'm just going to give you guys 30 seconds here, so write down really quick. If you can't think of it, that's okay as well. But why do you guys do PD? Like, why do you guys do? And obviously, personal development is the action taken towards worthwhile, predetermined goals, right? So it's not actually the stuff you put into your brain, but why do you put that good stuff into your brain? And maybe on the other hand, just while you guys are writing the answer to that, maybe on the other hand, why do we prevent the crap from going in? Like, I can't tell you when the last time I watched the news. Maybe when there was like a sports thing and I was waiting for the sports section to see the footy scores or something. Like, I seriously can't remember, guys, because I don't want, the media obviously have their own perceptions on things, and I don't want to buy other people's opinions. And it's the same thing, I guess, from a Herbalife perspective, right? You guys talk to people every single day. Everyone on this call, you talk to people, or most of you talk to people every single day, and they're borrowing other people's opinions on what we do sometimes. And that's okay, but that type of mindset isn't going to make them succeed. Like, they're not going to move towards their goals with that closed mindset, right? So it's really important to have that open mind. But hopefully you guys have written down the answer to why you do PD. And for me, like, it's really, really simple answer. And I don't know what you guys have wrote. You can share it in the comments if you're right. But it's to develop personally. It's like flipping the word, right? If you don't develop personally and mentally, you'll never, ever achieve your success, especially if you have big goals. Because you might have the physical support system, but my mindset around my training is to have the physical support system to do what I want to do mentally. It's kind of like the car, and my brain's the passenger, right? So, which is like about 50 IQ points short after Bales just nailed me with the Formula One, but I'm sure it'll come back if I have a rebuild. Yeah, so it's to develop personally. It's to become better people. Okay, so it's become better at, like, to improve our skills. You get paid for the value you bring into the market, and you don't bring value into the market physically. You bring value into the market mentally by the people that you can change through your communication, through your skill set, through your attitude, through your enthusiasm, through your work ethic, through your consistency. And these aren't physical traits, they're mental traits, and your body just carries the brain around to achieve its goals. So if we're not growing personally or personally developing, doing our PD and getting that information in, we can't challenge maybe the limiting beliefs that are holding us back. So it's really important that we're doing that, and we're doing it really consistently. And people talk a lot about the law of attraction and attracting things into their life and the vibey stuff. I'm not quite sure about that. Like, I believe that we do bring things into our life, but I believe it's because some people look through life because they're doing no personal development through like a keyhole, or like in the door, right? Like you can't see everything because your brain, like your mind isn't wired to see the opportunities around. But when you're doing personal development, you find that you see more in the world that, you would exactly the same world, exactly the same situation, but you just don't see it because you're not looking for it. Because either you're goalless or you don't have the skills available to be able to see that type of stuff. So you can't, like Rob Walsh used to tell us nearly once a week, opportunities reserved for those that seek. If you're not seeking, you won't find it. So if you're not doing personal development, you're not trying to improve your life, then you'll never see the opportunities available to you that's around you. And I guess on the other hand, some people have all the opportunities in front of them, and you kind of say, like, the answer's right in front of your face. How many times have you said that to someone? Like people come to me and complain about money. I'm like, well, the answer's right in front of your face, literally. You're standing right here. I can help you. But they're so close-minded and they don't work on themselves. So there's some area in their brain that they're perceiving, or they're borrowing someone else's opinion, that they can't actually do what we do. So that's the other thing I just want you guys to think about, is the reason why we do personal development is it lets us see the world as not like a black and white situation, like a colored scenario where we're not just looking through like a keyhole, we're looking at the whole thing, because our mind lets us look at the whole thing. So, and I guess just another side note of why we do PD is because I always got told that success leaves clues. And I know in any aspect, right? Like if you copy the way someone trains in the gym and you eat like them and you do everything exactly like them, you're going to end up looking very similar. I would have thought, genetics is a little thing, but you'd be looking pretty good, right? Like if you ate like Arnie Schwarzenegger for like a decade when he was doing Mr. Olympia, you're going to get pretty big. Okay, so, but on the other hand, like people who are successful that I know personally, and people who are successful that I have read about in books like Richard Branson and stuff, they're doing this stuff every single day. This is how they open their day every single day. And I think it's important with the every single day. If you've written that down, underline it, because you've got to be consistent with it. You've got to treat your PD like having a shower, right? And if you don't do it, at least every day or every second day, if you go day one without it, you can get by. But day two, you start to stink, and day three, you're fuming and no one wants to be near you. And that's what it does to your attitude. Okay, so all successful people I know work on themselves. All of them. Even you'll find like the sports people who are genetically gifted, the really, really top professionals. Like some people just have talent, but they're the ones you read about in the news, like that are doing all the wrong things. But the people that are really, really successful in sports, they're always doing personal development as well, because they know their mind is the key to them being successful. So when things are hard, they keep pushing. When they don't look like winning, they're thinking they're going to win. And when they need to be razor focused, they're razor focused, right? Because it all starts in their mind. So, and the other thing, just one last thing before we move on to how to do a personal development plan, because I want everyone to do this for 30 days that's on this call and just see what's happening on the other side, is what I know as well, like when we're talking about law and attraction and stuff, your focus will always determine your outcome. Like you can always find a problem in every solution. You can always find a solution in every issue or every problem. It's just the way you're looking at it. Like when a door shuts, the window opens. We've all heard that kind of expression, right? So, are we becoming solution orientated or are we becoming problem orientated? If we're solution orientated, we're going to be able to move towards our goals and success, because we're treating these things that come up as just lessons, right? Like we're rolling with the punches, we're learning, we're growing. This is how you actually evolve. Like no one has a predetermined worthwhile goal that's amazing and really big, that they're the person when they set it that's able to achieve it. Like that's not the point. The person is the point is the person that you grow into along the way that actually gets that done, right? So do you think that if you were really problem orientated and had that victim mindset that you'd be able to achieve great things? Like you just can't. It's impossible because your brain's running the show. So if you're solution orientated, there's always a solution, guys, if you look hard enough. And sometimes when there's things that you can't kind of see past, that's when you got to kind of, they say you can't see the picture when you're in the frame, right? So it means that you got to seek outside help. And they might just say a couple of things to you that you're like, why didn't I think of that? Or these really simple solutions that can help us overcome those problems and move towards the goals. So guys, before you guys can type some questions in, but just while you're doing that, I just want to talk about how you guys actually get this done every single day. And for me, I've always found it easier for me. Like some of us are readers, but some of us watch videos, some of us listen to audios. But what I would suggest you do is just find that thing that you enjoy and that works for you. What I know scientifically is your body and your brain, sorry, not your body, your brain is way, way, way more receptive in the morning to information. What I know as well is your brain gets tired. I used to have this mind game. What was it called? It was on a Nintendo DS, and it was called Mind something. Brain Training. It was called Brain Training. And it was cool, but I would always get so much better scores in the morning. If I played it at night, I was like, oh my God, like I smashed this morning and I can't even, like, it's like you're so much slower and you don't realize it, but you actually are. It's kind of like if you were running, yeah, of course you're going to be setting the pace in the morning, but if you're running all day, your legs are going to be tired at night. And it's the same with your brain, just because you've had to deal with the day, right? So I know your brains are way more receptive in the morning, and I know you can take more in the morning and you'll think of better ideas in the morning. So with that being said, what I would suggest to you guys is we try to get 10, 15 minutes in of personal development or some good information into our brain. Half an hour is good, but don't spend like hours on this, guys. Like just get some ideas in and go and apply it, because if you're not applying it, it's all irrelevant anyway. So if that's when you're waking up and you're making the kids brekkie, if that's in the car on the way to work or whatever it is, just do something that works for you. You don't have to be someone else. You don't have to read 60 books a day. Maybe you'll grow into that in time. I don't know. I still don't read 60 books a year. there's not a chance. But I listen to audio every single day consistently. I'm on the 7th run through of Times 10 Rule by Grant Cardone right now. Not in a row. I break it up. Listen to heaps of Jim, heaps of Mark Hughes, heaps of Jim Rohn. Got Tony Robbins in there. Sometimes I just search like personal development, download a whole bunch of books and listen to them, because it's usually the same concept, guys, about taking action and all these kind of simple concepts, but it's just said differently. So it just kind of challenges your thinking on it, and you can adopt those principles. So that's what I'd suggest we do, guys, and try to do this for 30 days and just see how differently you're looking at the world. 10, 15 minutes. We can all do that. Get up 10 minutes earlier. Go to bed 10 minutes earlier to make up for it if you're worried about your sleep. I know some of us have kids. That's fine. Whack in a headphone. I'd highly suggest you don't try to do it while you're watching it with your kids there, because mine are like, rawr, as soon as they see the phone go on, they're like zombies after that thing. So put in an earphone so they kind of don't really understand what's going on, and they play an audio and listen to it while you're getting around. Whatever works for you. Play it on the speaker, play it in the car on the way down, whatever it is. I don't mind if my kids listen to personal development in the back. I don't know what's going on the radio anyway. I may as well get some good information into them. So can everyone on this call do that?
Yes.
Yeah? Can you guys do that?
Yeah.
Will you do that? Is the most important question. Yeah? Cool. Because it's a big thing for all of us. And it's not just a Herbalife thing. And I'm sure like a lot of your goals and success might be linked to Herbalife, but it's a everything thing. It's everything, okay? Being a better parent, being a better role model in your community, being the person that you were born to be. It's all unlocked in your brain, ready to come out. Okay?
Thank you.
Cool. Legends. All right. You guys have any questions? Now is the time to fire them through. Well done on everyone on being on the call as well. Give yourselves a golf clap, because these guys, because we've got like 23, maybe more if there's more with you guys. So maybe 30 odd on the call, which is a really good TGIM for us. But we want to, when we know we're growing and making an impact, we want to look at it and go 30. No one was on. You know what I mean? Like, remember the first Fit Clubs, just while you guys are typing in some questions here. Remember the first Fit Club we done here, and we had 20 and we were stoked. And now I'm like, Jesus, it's light on for numbers, and we had like 26 or 27. So it's crazy how things change, right? But do you guys have any questions while these guys are typing? Because they're going crazy, I'm sure. Can't believe that. When you do TGIMs, I really hammer you with questions. Yeah. Surely the time has come. You weren't listening. Okay. All right. Let's see how it is. Tom took notes. We'll just give it like 20 seconds and then, here we go. So if you're a bad reader, would you read PD more than listen? No, I would listen to it. Because I don't read a lot, to be honest. And I find a good book, I seem to like just smash it out. But when I don't, I'm always listening to it. Like I wouldn't read too many books a year, and I don't get, like, some people used to say to me like things like leaders read and all this stuff, and I used to try and it nearly used to get me down because I just didn't want to do it. And I'd open up these books like Richest Man in Babylon, right? If you guys haven't read that, open that up and read 3 pages and see if you want to keep going. But you can listen to it and it's fine. There's like talked in like mumbo. It's nearly like a poem. And I'm like, I don't even know what this is saying. Belinda's read it. What do you think?
I'm a reader though. If I wasn't a reader, and But there's other books that I've tried to read, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
boring with that shit.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry.
Yeah. No. Can you guys hear? She's just saying that she finds books boring. No, she's saying that she's a reader, and she finds when she's got a good book, it's really, really good, and
Like
really
the times
easy.
10
Easy.
rule.
Yeah, times
I
10
can
rule.
read
Read that. But to answer your question, Matt, if you're a listener, man, just listen.
You're more likely to do it.
Don't fight the current. You're more likely to do it if you're swimming with the current than against it. It's my fish analogy for you. So Belinda Marsh wrote, is the type of PD you listen to determined by how you are feeling or your goal you are focused on? That's a good question. Apparently Belinda was going to ask that as well, the other one. It's a Belinda thing. You guys are like linked. But for me, yeah, it depends on my goals at the time. But I do also listen to PD based around skills. So if I'm like, my communication just isn't like, I feel like I need to improve, then I'll look up a whole bunch of things on communication and listen to it. If I feel like my philosophy is a bit shaky, I'll look up a whole bunch of things on maybe principles like 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, for example. But listen to it, it's good.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it doesn't really come down to how I'm feeling. It more comes down to what my goal is. But my goal is always to have a high level of action. So times 10 rule is usually good. But if I'm feeling flat, I probably wouldn't whack on Jim Rohn. Like if I'm feeling the energy flat, I'd put on someone who's a bit more hyped up because it kind of gets you hyped up and you're a bit more inclined to listen, right? So it's probably more on how I'm feeling at the time rather than the goal. But in saying that, I want to listen to things that are really going to give me a kick up the bum to get out there and smash my goals. What's the best app for audiobooks? It depends. I've got an iPhone and I just use iBooks. But there's another one called Audible for the other things that people have that connect phone calls. Does anyone have a good book I could borrow as I do want to read, or give me a few names of ones that you can't put down as I need? So times 10 rule, Ness, Belinda just said. The other thing, though, what I'd suggest, Ness, is don't wait for the book. It's like waiting for your rebuild to start exercising when it's in the post, right? So what I'd suggest is there's so much free stuff on YouTube that you can jump on and just get 10, 15 minutes. You know, if you want something that's going to get you up and about, look up Beats Reloaded, and there's a few there that are amazing that would get you started. But if anyone could lend Ness a book, we'll throw some titles into the chat here, or that would be great.
Oh, that Thinking Grow Rich was cool.
No, she wants the good ones.
Yeah, I know.
The subtle art was good.
Yeah,
the subtle art of not giving a fudge. That's good. It's easy to read, but it's really funny. It's also really funny to listen to. I nearly lost my tea a couple of times.
Yeah. Awakening the Giant Within, Tony Robbins, was good too to read.
Yeah, Awakening the Giant by Tony Robbins was a good read. Belinda Brown has said. Have you read 7 Strategies of Wealth and Happiness? No, I have not, is the short answer. And really all I got on that. I have the subtle art of not giving a F you can borrow after I finish. Okay. Mastering Your Mean Girl-ness is one there too. Seasons of Life is another one by Jim Rohn. What was it?
The Universe Has Got Your Back.
The Universe Has Got Your Back was recommended by Kate yesterday. Find Your Why by Simon Sinek by Lisa. I've just ordered Mastering Your Mean Girl. Yeah, cool. So there's lots of suggestions there for everyone to have a read as well. No, I haven't read that, girl. 7 Strategies of Wealth and Happiness. I have not read it. But so maybe DM me about it. But guys, that might be it for tonight. So if we have any questions, if you found this valuable, tag you guys in there. Actually, I have read that. I've listened to it. Sorry, Gal. Listen to it. If it's from Jim Rohn, yeah. Sorry, I didn't know there's so many. But guys, yeah, that's it for tonight. Please, if you found some value, take your people in this. I'm just about to chuck it in Empire Squad results. Have a good night. See ya.